present moment working or not? Can anyone confirm if the present moment is working or not? Anyway, let's try to practice meditation together. Maybe we can deepen our relationship with everything and deepen our relationship with non-competitiveness. I was thinking before I began the live stream that this is the moment or the time, the kind of meditation time is the real time where there's no competition. The only competition is how willing are you to not compete about anything. So what is that competition? Well, it's like to be better, it's to identify what's worse, it's to seek out the pleasant and get rid of the bad. It's a lot of comparing and contrasting between yourself and others. And life can be quite overwhelming with that, especially in the business world, and maybe in social circles, interpersonal circles. There's a lot of competition. Competition for resources, competition for status, competition to just be kind of seen and recognized and heard. In meditation, there's no competition. And we may find that's very strange. It's very difficult to not be competing about something, about someone, about some kind of success, some kind of progress, some kind of promotion, right? Everybody wants a promotion, nobody wants a demotion. Everyone wants to work for less time and get more money, and everyone wants to not do more work and receive less. But meditation kind of clears the slate from all that. And the competition mindset, or even we can say like the picking and choosing mindset, it doesn't apply in meditation. It's not useful, it's not helpful in what we call meditation. And we can say that meditation is a kind of dwelling within ourselves, dwelling in the everything of our moment by moment to moment experience. And the Buddha teach us about anapanasati, or to be aware of our breath, and that can seem kind of boring. It's like, come on, I want to watch a YouTube documentary. I want to experience something exciting and enthralling. But I think if you look at your life, if you examine your life, a lot of times that chasing mindset or that seeking mindset for something, it becomes a kind of tiredness. It becomes a kind of depressedness. It becomes a kind of frustration, because that seeking, that chasing, it doesn't end. That seeking never ends. It just goes on and on and on. When we practice meditation, we kind of realize that. We notice that this seeking way, this chasing way that we're so familiar with, doesn't seem to work. There's a real joy in that. There's a real happiness in that, an abundance in that. To realize that what you're doing doesn't work. That's another thing. Everyone wants to realize that what they're doing is working, and no one wants to realize that what they're doing isn't working. But actually, to realize that what you're doing isn't working is very profound. It's very important for the development, the advancement the evolution of your approach, your practice, your mindset, your way. And it's not working means that it's not giving you peace. And a lot of people don't realize that you can be at peace. A lot of people don't realize that peace is possible every day. Every day, even multiple times a day, we can have an experience of being at peace within ourselves. We can have an experience of being at peace within this environment that we are already in, not seeking another environment. And this is the Dhamma. To be reminded of that, to be told that, right? To have that pointed out. Everything that we get involved with and everything that we encounter, that self or that view of someone or that kind of explanatory view, explaining the place that we're at, explaining the people that we're around, explaining what we like and what we don't like about what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we breathe, what we experience in the body and mind. You know, and the we here is our common experience, our shared experience as human beings. The contact rather than the content. The content is not that important. You can think of the greatest sight or the most horrible sight in the world, but that's not important as your capacity to see. The most pleasing sound or the most unpleasing sound. The hearing itself is more direct. So that we applies. When it comes to content, no, the we doesn't apply because it's all these judgments, it's all these stories, it's all these ideas of my, I, someone, some place, some time, some situation, some thought, some perspective. So, what is the basic principle of meditation? It's a good name for a YouTube video. But what's the answer to that? What is the basic principle of meditation? What are we really doing in meditation? What's the approach? What's the understanding? Right? What's the perspective in which, why and how and what for and what not to apply meditation? Well, it's that what's going on right now is relevant. What's going on right now is more important than $1 million. Isn't that true? That what you're experiencing right now, what we are experiencing right now in this moment, whatever this moment is for you, concerned with the seeing, the hearing, the breathing, the body, mind, okay, tasting, that this moment, this experience is more important, more relevant than $1 million. Why would $1 million be relevant anyway? Just a big stack of money. Well, because it's useful, because it can be used, because it has a value of use. And so our body, our mind, our present experience is even more valuable than that. But what is the use? What is the value? Well, the value is to establish peace within oneself. Because isn't there a lot of activity and involvement and ideas and situations and people and experiences and stories and environments and temperatures and all these things that cause stress, that cause worry, even panic, even terror, even fear, cause depression, cause tiredness, cause weakness. So the body, the present moment experience, specifically our breathing, and it gets uncomfortable because we may have not been living in a very skillful way up to this point, right? We may have done a lot of unskillful things that have promoted, whether we wanted it to or not, whether we were aware of it or not, but that promoted within ourselves a sense of anxiety, a sense of fear, a sense of doubting ourselves, a sense of judging other people, a sense of self animosity, animosity towards ourselves, sense of judgment to the body, and judgment about what goes along with having a body, right? The sensations that a body has, the experiences that a body has. And we may have in the past developed an antagonistic view or a critical view towards those experiences. So when we start to become aware of our breathing, there's a lot that can come up. Pleasant sensations, unpleasant sensations, boredom. But you have to start opening up to how relevant this is. This experience, this body, this mind, this seeing, this hearing, this experience that's happening right now. Okay, body mind experience. Now if you're just lost in thought, if you're just lost in thinking, well, how do you start to manage that? How do you start to work with that so that you can quote unquote practice meditation? With the breathing, bring the mind home to the body. Stop letting the mind, stop letting your complicated thinking just run everywhere and just continuously make stuff up. We have to learn how to stop thinking. Because the evil of this world and the evil within ourselves, the nastiness, the disgustingness, the horribleness of how we act internally and how we act towards others, okay? It is propped up, it is held together by this wrong thinking, this wrong, non practical, complicated thinking, stemming from a self view or stemming from the view of someone being separate from someone else or from everything. Use the breathing to bring the mind home to the body. Bring the mind, bring the breath home to the lungs. You have organs. There are organs in your body. So bring the mind internally. Become aware of the organs inside of your body. And even if you're not aware of them in the way that you would imagine yourself to be aware of them, they are there. And so by bringing your attention, your awareness, your presence into the body, the awareness of the organs in your body is already. And so then what's it like when you start to bring the mind, bring the awareness, bring the attention, whatever you want to call it? It's there, it's this, it's that, right? To bring that into the body, what is that like? What's that experience like when you're not just running in circles, chasing after this and chasing after that and thinking about all these things and talking to yourself and making all these judgments? What's that like when you find yourself to be seated or laying down or standing, whatever position, and aware of the flow of the breath? Not understanding it and not applying any judgment to it. You're not a judge. You weren't appointed by the president. Stop judging things. Stop giving so much importance to the judgments that you make about things. It doesn't matter what you think about it or what you judge about it. It's your breathing. For God's sakes, for Buddha's sake, for freedom's sake, for enlightenment's sake, it's your breathing. And you even judge that. Just breathing, just aware of the breathing experience. Who cares if you like it or don't? You need to learn how to be with your breathing regardless of liking or disliking, because your breathing will be there with you as long as you are alive. So it's not about counting the breath or not counting the breath, not even about being concentrated on the breath for a particular period of time. It's more returning now. Because in that direct experience of breathing, if you're just directly experiencing the body breathing, where is the self in that? Where is the story of your life in that? Where is your depression, your anxiety, your confusion, your competition in that? It's not there. Progress or failure, success or failure. We have a little bit of a mantra that the Buddha taught and the great sages, the great princely wise ones have taught, okay? That everything is temporary. Breathing in, you can even use this mantra as to support you in meditating. Breathing in, I am aware, the I here is you. Breathing in, I am aware that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I am aware that I am breathing out. Breathing in, I know that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out. Now, this is when the protests come up, right? Talk about protests. Talk about encampment at UCLA. This is an encampment at Buddha CLA, the Buddhist College of Latitudinal Agents. Okay, listen to me for a sec. Give me a second here. You've been spending your entire life chasing after things, is it not? You continuously, again and again, day after day, pursue a cheeseburger. You pursue alcohol. You pursue entertainment. You try to avoid the stomach ache. You try to avoid the uncomfortableness. You want to make sure the AC is just right, is it not? So you've been practicing that way for a long, long, long time. What has it gotten you? What has it gotten you? All right? And if you've got something to say about that, it's got me my nice fancy house, well then go stay there. All right? This is a meditation group. What it's gotten a lot of people is a constant cycling. Feel a little bit good, feel very bad. Feel a little bit good, feel very bad. Toot, 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 toot. and all the while not developing effectiveness to help themselves or to help others for the deeper problems, the deeper issues they have, to change their personality, to change their psychology, to change their identity, which is completely possible if you practice meditation in the right way, if you practice wisdom informed meditation. Mindfulness is just going to help you lose or gain weight in a particular way, mentally or physically. A little bit more baggage or a little bit less baggage. But wisdom informed meditation, concerned with the Buddhist path, is going to help you drop the view that you are someone. To drop the view that you are someplace in particular, separate from all other places, which is impossible. And yet we hold that view. This is my house. This is me. This is I am Bhante. But there is no Bhante separate from everything. Already, it's impossible. So when we start to practice with a mantra like the one I prescribed, okay, this mantra, but the I is you in this, all right? Breathing in, I am aware that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I am aware that I am breathing out. Now, when you practice like this, when you bring the mind home to the body like this, you also experience tension in the body releases. Tension in the butt, tension in the thighs, tension in the shoulders, tension in the face. It starts to release, it starts to relax, it starts to fall away. So a lot of our problems, a lot of our ego problems, our ego anxiety, our ego depression, etc., relates to tension in the body. So when we start to practice meditation, even if it's just for a little bit, those tensions, the awareness comes into the body, we become aware of those tensions, and then we can naturally relax them. We can calm the body down. And then, so what do we do in this kind of environment, or what do we do when we go for a walk, or what do we do when we go from our house into the cold weather and then into our car to drive to our job? We we practice like this, breathing in, I am aware that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I am aware that I am breathing out. And then over time, but we have to start where we are, over time that I becomes more see-through. It becomes more cloud-like. It is already that way. But when we apply our mindfulness, when we apply our attention to the breathing, for example, that awareness, that true presence infuses itself into the body. And then the tensions, the kind of systematic and habituated tensions in the body relax. And then the ego dissolves. The ego learns to disappear. A good ego is an ego that knows how to disappear. It knows the art of disappearing. This is a book by Ajahn Brahm, The Art of Disappearing. The art of learning how to let your complicated thoughts about the traumas, the horrible things that happen to you, which is so common. I mean, I get people that reach out to me every other day and tell me, these horrible things happen to me. And I always tell them that's normal. You know how common that is. You're not alone in going through that. And so the The experiences we start to get when we begin meditation, when we first step into the meditation world, it may be a little bit horrible. It may be a little bit uncomfortable and a little bit unpleasant. But that is kind of the doorway to this art of disappearing, because that unpleasantness is already there. That tension in the body, that frustration in the body, that reactivity, that judgmentalness in our mind. But because we haven't applied the awareness within ourselves, that tension, that judgmentalness is kind of, it's like cobwebs going out. And it makes our mind, it makes our psychology, it makes our ego be very trapped and bound within itself. And that's why we stay in these cycles again and again and again. And it seems like things get a little bit better, then they get very bad. And a little bit, people have different cycles. But this meditation practice is the breaker of cycles. And yes, when you're used to a cycle taking place, when you're used to a cycle kind of going like this, it's going to be uncomfortable when you bring your awareness to that. And it's okay to feel uncomfortable. It's also okay to feel comfortable. It's okay to relax. It's okay to be a kid. It's okay to play. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be a human being. It's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to be liked. It's okay to be disliked. It's okay to love someone. It's okay to hate someone. But what do you want to do? Do you want to be free, or do you want to tie yourself up in infatuation or hatred? Because the other side of infatuation is hatred. It's just the positive side of it. And when we cling to the positive, the negative is just waiting for its chance. It's like a good boxer. You're getting all these punches in. Wow, this is great, this is great. But once that chance comes in, the negative comes in and knocks you out. So don't allow that to be happening. Be careful, be mindful, practice restraint. Come back to the breathing in the present moment. And in that, we can also come back to the hearing in the present moment. The hearing is there. We can come back to the seeing in the present moment. The seeing is there. Let's begin together our practice of meditation, okay? So make sure that you find a comfortable, stable position to sit in. We have a beautiful view behind me with the water and the river and the natural sounds. Let's try to make the best use of this short period of time that we have together to really meditate deeply. And how do you meditate deeply? Well, you don't compete with anything, even competition, even non-competition. You don't judge anything, even judgment. The breathing is there. The hearing is there. The seeing is there. Always coming back to the breathing. And sure, the thinking is there, no problem. You come back to the breathing. Relax the tension in your body. Be with everything. Okay? Let's practice meditation together. deepen the mind, open the heart, and from within widen out and brighten out. Now, in the meditation practice, we're not seeking. So it's a unique way of being. It's more like we're beaking into present moment experiencing through the breathing, through the awareing. But we're not seeking, we're not going to some destination, we're not trying to get somewhere, we're not trying to feel a certain way. We're just allowing the mind to come home to the body through the breathing, allowing the heart, our presence, our depth to open, and then to kind of allow that to widen out and to brighten out naturally, to flow out throughout our body and mind. Allow the heart to uh, shine. Okay. And you can use the mantra as previously prescribed. Breathing in, I know that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out. Meditation is a way of kindness, of friendliness, of embrace. So everything that arises, everything that's there, that sense of kindness, just offer, just replenish, just breathe that in. Offer kindness to everything that is there. Brave kindness, brave kindfulness, brave kind centration. Full on sincerity, full on authenticity, without any judgments from the society, from your bosses, from your teachers, from the people around you. Just full on sincerity and authenticity from within yourself and offered within yourself as well. And that's in each and every breath, each and every subtle moment of breathing happening. lots of patience and no judgment, just breathing. And no dullness. There's a real quality of awareness to relaxation. There's a quality of presence to relaxation. So there's no drifting or dullness there. If you find that you dwelling in a kind of dullness, deepen the breathing, revitalize the breathing. Give some extra attention to how you're breathing rather than just being with the breathing. And that's not thinking about it or judging it, but bringing the attention, the mindfulness, the presence to breathing in fully, heartfully. Now, when we start to go deeper into meditation, especially when we're beginners, which we all are to some degree or another, it can be a little bit like getting high, in that unique thoughts come up, unique ideas. You can even get images in the mind, or kind of unusual perspectives come up in the mind. And the way to deal with these is you kind of you turn towards it, but not grasping in it. You're willing to perceive it. You don't grasp it. You don't try to get rid of it, but you're willing to embrace and experience whatever is there, moment by moment. And you can come back to that mantra, breathing in. And it's an experience as well. The mantra is pointing to an experience, a way of experiencing. Breathing in, I am aware that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I am aware that I am breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Now, many people oftentimes think about meditation that, they're supposed to be relaxed and, going through this kind of flow state, this smooth state. And then if they hear someone speak up, geez, be quiet. But actually, it's exactly that geez, be quiet that is the richness of our meditation. Be open to embracing that and feeling that reactivity, feeling that judgment, feeling that control, that the mind or the experience needs to be a certain way. Just aware, just aware, just aware. Dwelling in natural non judgment, natural non competition. Even when we feel those feelings in the body that are supposed to be bad, supposed to be wrong, oh, anxiety, but actually it is what it is, experiencing and widening out and brightening out and opening the heart and this kind of all-encompassing kindness to the full spectrum of human experience at this moment. Breathing in, I know that I am breathing in, relaxing the body. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out, relaxing the mind. Okay, we'll finish today with some repentance. So, repentance is a really beautiful practice where we recognize the unskillful actions made by body, speech, and mind. And we understand that these unskillful actions made by body, speech, and mind have brought about greed and anger and delusion, which is they've brought about a tendency to grasp, a tendency to stress. They've brought about a frustration. They've brought about a non-complicated practical thinking, unskillfulness in ourselves and others. We cause suffering. So we kind of bring that up, we recognize that, and then we atone for it. And when we practice meditation, actually, we're not trying to get away from some part of ourselves. We're embracing our true self, which is like this direct experiencing, which doesn't have differentiation inherent to it, doesn't have separation inherent to it. Okay? And some of you may know this chant, some of you may not. You can follow along if you know it. You can bring your hands together. Om ancient twisted karma, born of beginningless greed, hate, and delusion, formed of body, speech, and mind. I now fully atone. Om ancient twisted karma, born of beginningless greed, hate, and delusion, born of body, speech, and mind. I now fully atone. Om ancient twisted karma, born of beginningless greed, hate, and body, speech, and mind. I now fully atone. Namo Guan Shi Yin Bo Sa. 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 Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be well on your journey. And if there is any question, you can ask it before we finish this live stream. Okay, then, the double finish. We'll pay homage to the Buddha as we wrap up. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Dutiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dutiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Dutiyampi Sangam Saranam Gacchami. Tatiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Tatiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Tatiyampi Sangam Saranam Gacchami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, see you next time. Be happy.